Welcome to Buses, Benches, and Baseball, presented by DimTroduction.
Who? Never heard of him.
Who's this guy?
It's not real!
Now here is your host, Tim Dillard.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world's #1 most unneeded minor league baseball podcast in the world. It's Buses, Benches, and Baseball. And I'm your host, Tim Dillard, former occasional professional baseball player and now current sometime broadcaster. But this is my show where the minor leagues gets attention, where the people who live the minor league life get to share their story. And my guest this week is Erick Almonte, legend in the baseball world for those who know. Absolutely an honor to have called him teammate. But besides stories and such, this podcast is also a place of details and tips and learning more and more about baseball. So please share the show with your bestest bestie and maybe even your worstest worstie, because it'll help me with this podcast. And it'll give me a 5-star review, even if we both know that is a lie. But first,
Stay tuned for a DimStructional.
Take the little end and stick it in the big end, and you know what?
This is how we do it. How exactly is a rainbow made? It just does.
welcome to this DimStructional. It's basically me sharing something that I learned somewhere throughout my career. This one in particular is about hydration. Yep, drink more water. Groundbreaking, I know.
And that's what I call high-quality H2O.
But spring training, it's all about the meetings. Morning meetings with full camp and staff, pitchers meetings, hitters meetings, media meetings, uniform meetings, umpires meetings, trainers meetings, base running meetings, strength and conditioning meetings. We have meetings about the meetings about the meetings.
Let's come back another time. I got a meeting with the Bobs in a couple of minutes.
I wasn't aware of a meeting with them.
All right, everybody in the conference room, just get in here right now.
You get the idea. Lots of meetings and also nutritional meetings.
Attention campers, lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle.
Nutritionists, MIT professors, experts, all of these people are paid probably a bunch of money to come in every spring training to basically tell players not only get more sleep, but to drink water, but also the when, how, and why behind it. So here's years of those spring training meetings condensed into the Cliff Notes just for you. Number one, they say drink 30 to 40 ounces of water every day right when you get up. Your body is dehydrated throughout the night, and if you're doing activity through the next day, that you have to be hydrated, and it's about getting water right away. That's very important. Yeah, it's about how much, but it also has to do with timing. I've been doing this for about, 20 years, and I can say it's easy and it works because it hydrates the body, getting it ready for the day instead of chugging down a bunch of water right before a game or exercise or a practice. You've seen this. It's like, oh, I haven't drank enough water, and then suddenly you're crushing a bunch of water right before you're about to do something. You don't feel good. So this is what these experts say. They say drink the water right when you get up. It keeps the muscles, ligaments, tendons, tissues flexible, hydrated, and healthy. I drink at least a gallon of water throughout the day, and that's the how. No doubt you've seen people walking around with those big gallon jugs, maybe at the gym. I just carried this bottle for probably the last, 13 years of my career, and collected all sorts of wristbands along the way. I didn't have enough wrist, but I wanted to support. But it's about making sure that the water is there. I would fill this up before I went to bed every night, depending on whatever city we're in, don't care. I just fill it up by the faucet and have it ready to drink right when I woke up, because hydration was that important. It's not just how and when, but it was why. There's so much stuff out there and that says you should drink soda or Coke or pop or soda pop or whatever you want to call it, sugar water, carbonation, all that kind of stuff. But again, the experts would come in and would tell all these baseball players at spring training that all of that stuff does not hydrate you. I know, it could be a shocker, but it has negative effects towards hydrating your muscles and getting ready for activity. So they would say, don't drink that, just drink water. And if you want to even reproduce something like Gatorade has so much sugar in it. So it's like, just drink the water and then maybe eat a handful of pretzels for the salt, sodium, electrolytes, or whatever. That's the difference. When you drink water, how much water you drink, and what to stay away from. And you know what? Organizations spend a ton of money to pay these experts to come in and tell all the baseball players exactly what I told you. And that's it. I believe in it so much that I have taught the importance of hydration to my family, who all have water bottles we consistently fill up. No sodas in the house, no sodas at restaurants. And if you ever see those white marks on your hat after a hard day of sweating, just know that you are a salty sweater and you need more water.
This has been a pointless DimStructional.
Hi, I'm Tim Dillard. You may remember me from such minor league baseball teams as the Beloit Snappers, the Nashville Sounds, and of course the always intimidating Brevard County Manatees. Well, my 18 years in professional baseball would have been way shorter if my wife got her way, but I was able to stay healthy and be in shape, air quotes, thanks to two very important things. Number one, of course, ibuprofen. I want to say thank you, ibuprofen. And also, training every offseason at D1 Sports. D1 Sports training is some of the most elite in the Northern Solar System and have helped over 100 NFL draft picks and thousands of professional, college, high school, all athletes of all shapes and sizes and ages, and with over 100 locations across the country, the next step of strength and agility could be at your fingertips. And speaking of those fingertips, use those to type in D1Training.com to learn more about how D1 Sports can elevate your health.
Now it's time for a Mound visit.
All right, it's time for a Mound visit, and joining me is probably the most memorable teammate I think I've ever had. A guy that had probably, I would say, somewhere between 700 and 800 teammates in his 17 years of playing professional baseball. Now a longtime coach in the Cardinal organization. Joining me, Erick Almonte. Almonte, thanks for being on, man.
My pleasure, man. Long time no see you. I'm happy to see you, and just get me flashback and all those times we spent together in beautiful Nashville.
Nashville, baby. The old stadium. They tore that thing down, man.
Oh God, what a good stadium. I love it.
The guitar scoreboard, they actually I think they ended up selling it, and they moved it about a mile away, and it's just sitting like in a park area.
Oh, really?
They painted it. I drove by it one day and I was like, what in the world? But dude, that thing was huge.
I wonder who paid for that guitar.
I know that thing. Did you ever win a guitar? Because if you hit a home run there, you spent parts of 4 years there.
No, you know me, man. Just blooper behind first base. I don't have that kind of power, man.
Oh, dude. So, Erick, you're drafted by the New York Yankees organization, and this is your phrase. You were the next Derek Jeter, right?
I was supposed to be, but unfortunately, man, I was stuck in the minor leagues for a long time. But, like most of us, every time we put a uniform when we were a kid, we dreamed to play in the big leagues. And at least for me and you, we make our dream come true. We were fortunate enough to be in the big leagues and enjoy what it's about. But not everybody gonna have a career and make 300, 700 mil. But I feel great. I play a lot of years with a lot of different people all over the different countries, and I feel really, really happy and really grateful on my career.
Gotta be, man. 17 seasons. You played in Japan. You played Dominican Winter League, Mexico, Tigers organization, Brewers organization, Rockies organization. So, I just want to tell a little bit about you just to set up for the people that are going to listen. You had some of these antics that you did because you showed up in 2009 in AAA with the Brewers. And you were kind of late getting there, right? Were you with the Cubs maybe?
I was released by the Cubs in spring training right in the last week. I was released by the Cubs, went home, made it. I get a flight from Arizona to Dominican Republic, and then the next day the Brewers call that I need to get back to Arizona. Then I hop in the next flight, and I was in Maryville with you guys, and I spent like 3 days, and sure enough, I was in Nashville playing for dumb money. Probably the best 2 or 3 years of my career. When it comes to like city-wise teammates and all the fun we have, all the teammates that went to Nashville and Double A, Huntsville, Alabama, all those teammates. Really grateful to put the uniform and be part of that 3 or 4 years with you guys.
Yeah. So 2009, we go to Nashville, and so like you said, you'd only been there like a few days.
Yep.
And nobody really knew you, and it was kind of funny because you were kind of quiet at first. It seemed like,
Well, you know how it is. You know how it is.
Yeah, you didn't want to come in and be loud like, "Hey, man, I bet." But we're kind of getting to know everybody, and you weren't playing that much. I remember there was a game. It was the first probably week of the season.
Yep.
And I remember like I think you were pinch hitting or something like that, and we had like bases loaded. This was like ninth inning, game's on the line.
Yep.
And you walk up there and you're wearing turf shoes. You're not even wearing spikes. And I think you work a full count. I was a starter then, so I think I was in the dugout. I had a pretty good view. And it was a full count, bases loaded, ninth inning, tie game, and you just start screaming out, time. Everyone just, flinches because umpire's like, calls time. Everybody's freaking out. And you pulled sunflower seeds out of your back pocket and you just dump them on your face. Like some of them may have gotten in your mouth. And then 10 seconds later, you hit a walk-off base hit. We go to run after you, and you run into center field. And we're all asking ourselves, this guys, we're chasing you. We're like, who is Erick Almonte?
Well, remember in Nashville in the outfield, the home plate used to be like maybe 10 steps from dugout.
Yeah.
Then you can hear everything, and then like by the time I walk, down money, we're like, hey, you pinch hitting. I was like, oh, really? Let's go. I'm ready. Like you say, I work the count to 3-2, and I just want to get in the pitcher set, get a walk or something, and then I just throw the sunflowers. Even the umpire was amazed, but it was really fun time, man. We do a lot of stupid stuff, but we have fun together on the road. Every time we went to Oklahoma, Albuquerque, places that nobody wants to go. We really have fun. We were a good group, and that's a part of the chemistry to be in a good winning culture team.
Where did this come from, though? Were you always like this? I mean, you got into pro ball at 19. Were you just always kind of? I know you were serious about the part of baseball, like when your job. Yes. But you had fun, kind of goofy, which, I mean, honestly, that's pretty much all I am is goofy. But was that always you?
Yeah. I always try to be myself. And remember, I played for a long time winnable, where you learn all these antics and all this stuff that you probably not used to do it in the upper levels, especially when you like the up and down, the 4A players, they go up and down. But, like I was really comfortable doing it after a while. Don't money let me be myself. You guys let me be myself, and it was nothing to embarrass the other team. It was more to be fun with us. Even sometimes I try to just get on the pitcher set and other teams, and I can tell when they were like, who the hell is this guy? Why he's doing all this kind of stuff? Like get in the box and just swing the bat. But. It was part of the game, mind games, and for the most part, it worked for me, especially the first 2 years in Nashville. Everybody had fun with it, but it was not to disrespect anybody.
No, what I loved about it is you did it because we liked it. Like your teammates liked it. We loved it. I remember one time you bedazzled. I don't know if you bedazzled your bat, but you put like some jewels on your turf shoes, and you would write on your shoes, right? So the catcher would read it.
Yep. I remember, I put other stuff. I remember one time I write on my shoes, hey, I wear turf. Like, because every time I went to pinch hit with turf, all the catchers were like, hey, where's spikes? And then I just put in my shoes, like, hey, I just hit it in turf. And, I put different stuff, and they just laugh and whatever. They were like, hey, you're going to hit with that? Like, you're going to sleep, right? Well, I'll let you know in a couple seconds. Just throw the ball over the plate. Sure enough, I had a good year. Probably, like you say, probably the best year of my career. I think the first year as a pinch hitter, I hit over 320. Yeah. Something that I wasn't even used to do it because I always used to play when I was a prospect in the minor leagues. But, it was a good time, and, we just have fun with it.
I mean, that's the key, right? You're playing... In the minor leagues, not a lot of fans are watching you, not really on TV. You travel on buses, you get on a plane flight every once in a while, and it's like you got to entertain yourself. And I remember, so I'd been in AAA a couple of years before you came along, and with us and with in Nashville. But like, I don't think I enjoyed the game, but I didn't know how to express that. Like I always felt like if you were having too much fun, maybe a coach would look at you and be like, "Oh, you're having too much fun. You should focus up." I feel like you were one of the first teammates I ever had that was like, "No, you can have fun. In fact, you can actually probably play better by having this much fun." Because I mean, your stuff was infectious. I remember one time you slid into second, and you just didn't even move. Like you slid over second base, and then you just laid there. And like most guys pop up. Or most guys get up and they call time. Like you just laid there. And it just, I mean, guys are natural reaction in the dugout to see something different on the field. It just sparks, man. Yep. I mean, that was some of the most fun I ever had playing baseball because of what you brought to the clubhouse. And it was every single day. Yep. That energy, man. You just must have been born with it.
Well, no better. No. It doesn't matter if we lose or win the game. We always have really, we always bring it every single day. We want to beat the other teams. And I remember my first week in Nashville. I remember my conversation with Don Money, who was our manager. He was like, "Hey, listen, you might don't play much. I just need you to be a leader. Just be you. And, I need you to take care of this guy." When he met this guy, he was like Alcide Escobar and Angel Salome, who were the babies there. I knew my role. I knew my role there. Like, I don't, for the most part, in AAA back in the days, it used to be like a lot of grumpy guys trying to get back to the big leagues and all this stuff. And you play with me a couple of years. So like, all I want to do is just be around, play the game that we love. And I never even crossed my mind that I was going to be in the big leagues after that anymore. And then sure enough, in 2 years, I make the big league club again. It was a really surprise for me. For all I want to do is just be there for the guy, Lorenzo Kane, who was a big prospect for all, Jonathan Lucroy, Martin Maldonado, and all those guys end up having a great career in the big leagues. That's what it made me proud of the most, that I was there for them when they really needed. And that was just me, and that was part of my and who I was, and we really enjoy it together.
Yeah, I mean, once you play long enough, you do have different roles, right? You were drafted shortstop, probably pulled on more of a utility thing, being a DH and first base maybe later, but not a lot of guys accept that role or say, I'm willing to do this for the team to make people better, because like you said, there's a lot of guys in AAA used to, and they could care less about anybody else in the clubhouse. They were only caring about themselves. And, I mean, that's probably why you're one of the most, memorable, definitely the most memorable teammate I've ever had. But I just love the fact that you were there, you accepted your role, and it made everybody better. It made everybody better. And I guess I forgot that it was mainly a DH role there, or a pinch hitting role, because you made the most of it. You batted over 300 there for like 3 or 4 years.
I remember a couple of times you remember back in the days, it used to be the pitchers used to hit in the minor leagues, especially when we played the national teams. You guys used to hit, and then I was ready to pinch hit like in the middle of the game or late in the game. But every time we played the American League teams, we had the DH. And every time we visit Oklahoma, like long trip, we had to get up at 5 a.m., getting a flight to Dallas to Oklahoma. And I remember I walked in the office the first game, and Don Money was like, "Hey, that's the lineup. You write the lineup. We've been playing awful." Like, I go to my locker room, getting the lineup back like 5 minutes after, and he checked it up, and he was like, "Hey, okay. Why you not in the lineup?" I was like, "Money, I'm tired. I drank a few beers last night. I don't want to play. Let Joe Koshansky play. I don't want to play, man." And he was like, "Man, you dumb or what?" I was like, "Dumb. If you need me later to pinch hit, I'll be there, but I don't want to play. Don't, I know my role. Just play these young guys, and they the one need to be in the big league. Like, I'm good, man." And he was beautiful, man. I really love to play with him, and that stuff that we have in 2009 and 2010. It was really beautiful, man.
And just the ultimate team guy, doing what's right and being yourself, and having success doing that. Because I mean, you played parts of like 15 years or something in AAA, which is extremely tough to do.
Yes,
But the fact that 8 years, about 8 years, right, 7, 8 years before you were in the big leagues with the Yankees, and then got to the big leagues with the Brewers because you had a monster spring training. You batted over 400. I think you had like 15 runs, 13 RBIs. I should have written some of this stuff down. I'm just trying to spitball. Your OPS was over 1,000. You had 30-something hits. 10 of those were extra base hits. That kind of stuff. And out of nowhere, you make the big league club opening day, right? 2011.
Yep. And remember, I don't even got invited to spring training, to the big league spring training. I was sitting at home playing winter ball, and by maybe last week in January, I got a call from somebody in the front office. I got a call, hey, you got your passport, your visa ready? I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I just finished playing the season here in winter ball. And he was like, it might be an opportunity for you to come to big league spring training, and like we don't have anybody to get some rest to Prince at first base.
Yeah.
And you've been with us the last 2 years, and we know you can do it. I was like, yeah, just let me know, and I'll be ready. And sure enough, a week later, I was in spring training and big league camp. Actually, it was my first big league camp since 2003. I don't even like every time I play for the Rockies organization, for the Cubs, for the Tigers, and I don't even get invited to big league spring training. And you know how the difference is big league spring training between minor league spring training. It's a big difference, and almost 8 years, almost 9 years that I don't even went to big league spring training. I was really surprised when I first walked in there. Prince welcomed me with open arms. The first thing he said to me was like, "Hey, I remember you used to play. You used to be the Jeter backup." I was like, "Oh yeah." You make me feel old, man. He was like, "Hey, welcome, whatever." Being around those guys, and it feels really great. But I was surprised, when I sit down and reflect about my career. I was like, how come I wasn't even invited to big league sprint training? Because you know how it is when you're around, you even getting a big league sprint training invited. It's not a big deal, but like they know what you can do and all this stuff. But sure enough, I wasn't invited any of those years. And like you say, I had a monster sprint training. Every time Prince come out, like after 2 at bat, I was Prince, just get 2 at bats and go home, man. I got you. To all those guys, Corey Hart, I was like, Corey, you don't have anything to do after the third or fourth inning. Let's go home, man. I got you guys. Sure enough, I was playing almost every day after the 5th inning.
Yeah.
I ended up with more than 100 at bats, like you say, like OPS to the moon, 4 to 5 homers, and when they told me that news that I was making a big league club, it was like the first time, man. I was really surprised, really proud of myself to never give up and just keep grinding. And me, like all those guys that been around AAA. And like you say, man, 11 years in AAA, it's a long time.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was like up and down 1 month in AAA. It was 11 full years in AAA. And it's a long time, man. But like I said in the beginning, I'm really grateful and really happy for the career that I have and for what I did for me, for myself, and for my family.
Yeah, and the guys that knew you when you got to big league camp and started absolutely raking and then made the big league club, that right there, because we had a backstory with you the previous seasons, we knew that you were being yourself, you were having success, and because of that, all of us that were in AAA were like, you know what? Why can't we do that? Why can't we have fun? Why can't we be prepared? No one was more prepared than you. I felt like, looking back, guys in a limited role like that, you have to be ready. I remember the year I was in the bullpen and you would come down to the bullpen with your bat, just shooting the breeze with us because...
And my shake weight.
With your shake weight.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This is shake weight for men, and it's going to kick your butt.
That's it.
In just 6 minutes. Guaranteed. Ordinary weights isolate one muscle in one direction. But shake weight harnesses the power of dynamic inertia to totally redefine strength training.
You remember that one?
I forgot about the shake weight. Oh man, the fans had no idea what was going on. Oh man, yeah, but it was that resonates, especially for older guys that are in AAA. They're trying. There's a chance. Everybody's got a chance. And for the guys that were on the roster, it was maybe like a slap in the face. Like, hey, get it together. You don't have just a free ride. You got to start doing something. So I really always appreciate that. And, I talk to some of the guys every once in a while, some of our teammates, and everybody has a story about you in it. So I just wanted to let you know. I know you don't probably get the chance to see a bunch of guys or talk to them, but anytime I see guys from those rosters, they're just like, dude, Almonte, and they'll tell their story. And I have several. I wrote some down. I love the one about the full count when you stepped out, bedazzling the bat. But this is a fun one because when you get older, and you just feel that preparedness, you feel like you can kind of do anything. Like the game slows down for you a little bit. So I would take me to Tacoma. I don't remember what year this was, maybe 2009, when you broke your bat at the beginning of the series.
Wow, Tacoma, wow, what a weather, man. I broke my bat and I was like, I know what I need to do to put the barrel on the ball. Yeah. I just tape it up, put a lot of pine tar, put a few nails.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to have a tape that high up on the bat. That's why you had to cover it in pine tar. So
I cover with plenty pine tar all over. That way the umpire doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
And you remember that bat was like kind of wiggling. It was really broke. But for some reason, I can hit the ball on the barrel, and the ball keep finding a spot. I keep hitting doubles. I probably get like 12, so I probably went like 10 or 12 hits.
Yeah.
Before the bat even snag in my bat and in my hands. Every time I get a hit, I remember you guys in the bullpen. You guys just laugh, and I don't even let anybody touch my bat because I know it was gonna break. But people don't even believe it that they was broke for so much, maybe for more than a week, and I just keep hitting rockets all over the place. And every time I came back after the game, I just put a few more nails and more tape and more pine tar. It was heavy as hell too. It was.
Oh man, I'd never seen anything like that before. But even with my kids now, or if I'm working with my kids as teammates, or talking to players, even when I was still playing, I would reference that of like, dude, if you can hit, you can hit with anything. I was like, I had this teammate one time had a broken bat and could walk up there and just got hits out of it. Like the bat's not going to make the man. It's the bat to ball skills. It's the preparedness. It's the work that you put in, dude. I think what gets overlooked a lot of times is you were super talented. I mean, we only caught you at like a time when you were, you did have success, but you played for 12 or 13 years before we were teammates, and had a couple of big league homers too. I was going to ask you about, you got 2 home runs in the big leagues with the Yankees. Do you remember those for sure?
I have 1 home run with the Yankees. That was April 4, 2003.
Okay.
That was my first homer versus the Blue Jays. April 4, 2003. And my second homer in the big league was with the Brewers, April 4, 2011. 8 years apart.
Wow.
Crazy, man. 8 years apart between homers. I think that's probably the longest drop and between homers in the big leagues ever. That's what every time someone is complaining, and now I'm on the coaching side, and every time someone is complaining, why me, why I'm not playing, I bring that story. I've been like, listen, you're gonna have a lot of up and down in your career. Just keep grinding, keep positive, keep your mind positive, and every time you get opportunity, you got a uniform. Just go and do your thing. That's all you can do. That's all you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a uniform, you got a chance. And to your point too, I mean, we're kind of cut from the same cloth. I mean, you're the position player side of it.
Yeah.
I was the pitcher side of it, but I threw a complete game in AAA in 2019, and it was the first complete game I had thrown in 10 years. So 10 years in between complete games. So those kind of things, they mean a lot, because when you do say that, it's going to hold more weight to the guys.
Yep.
I mean, you're coaching right now. You just finished year 12, right?
Yep, 13 years is gonna be next year. Yep.
Nice. So what's the kind of stuff that you bring up to your guys now?
Well, it's just just mental. At the end of the day, we got a lot of new stuff when it comes to hitting, when it comes to pitching too, with all these analytics and numbers and all the stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about who's stronger, who's gonna have the ability to focus when it's game time and to perform at the highest level. And we're trying to be the best we can. We're trying to give the best advice to the kids. But at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game that it's been playing for more than 120 years, and it's been a lot of changes now with the timing, with the pitch clock, with the rule about the stolen base. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of adjustment that you need to make to play this game. If not, you out of it. Nobody gonna feel sorry for yourself. Like a lot of people play this game. A lot of people make a lot of money, and now they don't even play. Like that's you need to make the most out of it. Why you can, because we don't have a long career. We were fortunate enough to play until our middle 30th. You probably play a little longer.
Yeah.
I retired when I was 36, but not many people had the fortune to play that long. For the most part, what's the time that we play, like from the 20th to the 28th, 8 years?
Yeah.
And if you're playing 6 years in the minor league, it's only 2 years in the big league level. Then you don't even make enough money nowadays. Those guys in the minor league, they make a lot of money. They make more money than we did.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to pay for apartments. They don't even have to pay for anything, because he's taking care for the ball club now. But in our days, you remember our days, we have to live 4 or 5 guys in one apartment to at least have food for the month. It was tough. It was tough, and I think that's why we made it, because we were up to the challenge. We were like not many crying, and we just went at it. And it was really fun to go at it and play and compete every night in different cities, man.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. If you want to have longevity in this game, you can't be like, oh, woe is me, or, oh, man, because there's other guys in clubhouse. They don't want to hear that stuff either.
Yep, that's right. That's right, man.
We're going to play a game, man. This was great. And we're going to play a little game called the Hat Game. I got a Nashville Sounds hat. Do you keep your old hats?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got hats. I got all bats, unis, and all the stuff. Yeah,
nice. I got topics in this hat, and I'm just going to reach in and pull it out, and hopefully you can give me a story to talk about. All right, let's see here. This one just says plane. Do you have a plane story, like flying to go somewhere during the season?
Well, playing story, probably every trip we make on on AAA. It was kind of fun. I don't know if you remember, most of our flight used to be in Southwest.
Yeah.
In Southwest, you just whoever's go first in line, you sit around. And I for the most part, I used to get the window. That way I can at least take a little 2-hour nap while we were flying from Nashville to our connection. For the most time, it was Dallas. And every time I see some random person walking in the hallway, I just start coughing like really bad and loud. That way nobody sit around me. I don't know. I don't even know if you remember, but I was like every time I see someone coming, I was like, it's 6 a.m. in the morning, and who want to sit next to you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit next to that guy. He's
And sure enough, I had the middle seat empty, and then I came up in my leg.
That's awesome. Oh man. All right. Oh, no, that's not a good one. You talked a little bit about Don Money, but who are some of the coaches that really stand out in your career that you either got along with or maybe you learned a lot from?
Don Money for sure. Probably one of the best, man. Let's see who else. Beautiful, Sandy Guerrero. Wow, what a guy, man. I had with the Yankees probably Don Mattingly he was really nice to me when I was coming up. A lot of advice and Willie Randolph. But in the minor league side, Trey Hillman, who was my manager in AAA and later become a manager in the big leagues and a coach in the big leagues for a long time. That's probably those five that I remember the most.
Yeah. I had Don Money a lot. So me and him got along just fine because he wants people that want to play.
Yep.
And that are prepared to play. Yep. I remember one time I got an at bat. I wasn't even in the game. I was a starter, but I was the only extra player he had because Don Money ran through all the players. It was like the sixth inning. And I got a pinch hit because I was the only starting pitcher that was there that had spikes on. So anyway, I think I grounded out to short. What do you miss most about playing?
Clubhouse chemistry, clubhouse, man, clubhouse, pre-game stuff. After the games, go out for a beer with the guys. Just to be around guys. Always fun, man. Always fun. Doesn't matter what city, but the clubhouse is probably what I miss the most.
Yeah. That's probably the right answer. That's what I miss the most. Being a part of something like that that's bigger than you, and you're all kind of doing the same thing, trying on a hope to get somewhere, to win, to come together. That I miss all that stuff, man.
And remember, we all come from a different background, man. People don't even realize different the people are in the clubhouse. At least from all, like my first year in the state was 1997. I don't even have a clue. I don't even know how to say window or how to order food, McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut. And before I even get a hit in the state, before I even dream of getting a bat in the big leagues, one of my biggest proud moment was to order probably a Chinese food or pizza at a hotel, and the food was delivered to me because I don't really know if they're ever gonna understand what I was saying on the phone. Like nowadays with all these apps, Uber Eats and all the stuff is really easy for the guy. At least it's more easier. But like you don't even know that moment when they knock at your door and your food, fried rice with chicken wings or with orange chicken, whatever was at the door. You don't even know how proud, as a Latin man coming from Latin America, how proud you are that at least you knew how to order food. And that's something that people take it for granted and feel like we all know or we should know, and I'm pretty sure you remember Rivas, that pitcher who played for Amari Rivas.
Amari Rivas, yeah.
Right-handed pitcher, man. It was really... I don't know if you remember, just to tell you a little bit more, but he
said that Nelson Cruz was his cousin, right?
Yep,
he's like, Nelson Cruz, mi primo. Yeah.
But you remember that's all he know what to say. He don't say anything else, but you probably don't even remember, or you probably knew about it, and you probably don't even pay a lot of attention. But when he played with us in AAA, if you went to the gym, he was at the lobby like 9 a.m. If you came back from the gym, he was at the lobby at 11 a.m., at 2 p.m., just waiting for a Latin guy to help him order food. It wasn't because he was in the lobby just to just spend time there. He just was waiting for the right guy. That way he can go and feel comfortable, go to the restaurant and stuff like that. And, people don't even realize those stuff. And, we have to go to a lot of stuff. And you guys, you guys teach me a lot English. We teach you a lot in Spanish. And, all the chemistry together is fun, man. It was, that's probably what I miss the most. And every time people ask me, I said the clubhouse and my teammates.
Yeah, you feel like you're really doing something there when you're with your teammates. You're helping your teammates. You're learning from your teammates. Yep. The amount of life experience that you get is super meaningful. More meaningful than anything that you do actually on the field.
Yeah,
I love that, man. I didn't know, dude. I love Rivas. Mi primo. Every time I saw him, mi primo. We're cousins now. What was your walk-up song? Do you ever have a good walk-up song to the plate?
So I got a good one. I don't know if you remember, I got Bosch Pond, but
Oh yeah, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
I forgot about that.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
I got SpongeBob. I got what was the other one? I got a couple songs there in Nashville that people love and people went crazy. But SpongeBob probably was one of them, and the other one was probably. I probably, if I sing it to you, you probably know a little bit of chicken fry.
Oh yeah,
Cold beer on a Friday night.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God,
Country song, dude. Place went crazy.
people were crazy there in Nashville for that song.
Well, it was popular at the time, but I will say I remember you you like hit a walk-off base hit. You had several, by the way. I mean,
Yep.
And it was like we were listening to SpongeBob SquarePants, and then like next pitch, bah, game's over. I mean, just imagine that pitcher on the mound feeling so defeated. Who lives in a pineapple? All right, let me see. Oh, you were talking about your home runs. Do you remember who you hit your home runs off of?
It was
In
only
the big
two.
leagues?
I should know this because it was only two. It's not like it was too many. But my first homer definitely was against P. Walker. Now he's the pitching coach for the Blue Jays
Oh yeah.
and the big leagues. Let's see. My second homer is probably I don't remember. It was a lefty from the Reds. He threw a quarter on me and Cincinnati opening day and hit a homer, man. Whacked the ball to left field.
Opening day? Dang.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
I know that
Right.
place is a launching pad, but you got pop when you got pop when you need it for sure. That
Yeah.
wasn't your game though. Okay, so this one's talking about training. Like some of the stuff, everyone has their own thing that they do to get, ready for a season.
Yep.
But you stayed very healthy throughout your long career. I mean, what is something that you feel like was instrumental, maybe in the off season or maybe during the season, to help you stay healthy on the field?
Well, obviously work a lot of swings in the off season with my coaches, taking a lot of ground balls, but definitely, just work my body. And we play 5 months in the minor league through buses, to airplanes,
yeah.
all the stuff. But nowadays it's even easier because the guys play in a city for a whole week. Back in the day, you used to be in the city for only 3 or 4 days and hopping a plane, hopping a bus, and just go to another city. It was really tough, but just take care of the body and just work out and getting stronger. Now you see the athletes how big and strong these kids are, and when they made it to the big league at 21, 22, and it's impressed. I guess they even eat healthier now than we used to do. You remember in our time, we don't really believe that much about nutritionists, about the mental side of the game.
DiGiorno in the
The
clubhouse.
journal, the journal every night, and like.
Oh, pizza, great! Who delivered?
Actually, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
For fresh baked pizza at home, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Pasta with meatloaf and all the stuff, and in our time we were able to drink beers after the games.
Oh yeah.
And nowadays it's no more beers, no more greasy food after the game. But guys are more prepared than ever nowadays than what we used to be. But we always had every time we finished the season in the minor league, I went home, rest for like 2 weeks, and then go back at it, trying to work more on my hitting, my legs, my core, my back, and everything, man. Everything to be ready for the next year.
Yeah, that's funny about I forgot about the DiGiorno pizzas that we would have in Nashville every single day, and the beers in the clubhouse. One of the biggest moments I had as a player is when Don Money, this was in Double-A, and after a game, we were in Mississippi playing the Braves, and he called me in his office, gave me a beer, and we talked about something that had happened, nothing bad, but he just like he saw a teachable moment there and was like, I need to teach this kid. And I was lucky to have Money a lot after that. But dude, I just want to say thanks for being on the show and catching up, man. And it sounds like you're doing awesome. You look great. and you're still got a smile on your face. That's every memory I have. Your smile.
Always, man. Always, man. Always. And I'm really happy to see you doing your things. And well, I know you're gonna get into this after your playing career was over. Love to be around you. Love to remember all my teammates. Chase Wright, Jeff, Sam Narrow. Like, oh my God, what a group of guys. Like Brendan Katie. Wow. What a guy.
Yeah. Brandon Kate may need to be my next guy here. But I just interviewed Sam Nairn. He was the guy I just interviewed, I think, about a week ago.
Every time we saw each other, in spring training and stuff, he's doing good. I'm happy for all those guys, but, really good to see you and that you're doing good. And thanks for having me, man.
That's great. We're going to have you on again. I appreciate it, Eric.
Anytime, man.
Thanks, brother.
Next time you should be in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't think I can get there. You only taught me the bad words in Spanish. That's all for this week's episode of the world's #1 most unneeded minor league baseball podcast in the world. Buses, benches, and baseball. A big thanks to my guest, Erick Almonte. And of course, I'd also like to thank my baker's dozen of listeners, reminding you that besides downloading this episode, you can also share it because, hey, why not? And remember, you can watch on YouTube. Love my YouTube crowd. Easily the most commentful. I appreciate that. But of course, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Be sure to follow on social media at DimTillard Show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for your chance to win can only be described as a very terrible prize pack that I will make sound really cool, and I'll mail it straight to you if you win. But why not connect? Send me a message with your unconstructive criticism and thoughts on the podcast, things you want to hear about more, things you want to hear about less. I'm very accessible, so don't be afraid to reach out. And you can also shop DimTillard merchandise. Not sure why you would. My family doesn't even do that. At DimTillard.com under my link, Buy My Crap. See you next time on Buses, Benches, and Baseball.
Thank you for tuning in to Buses, Benches, and Baseball, presented by DimTillard.